What is good, YouTube? Quinn Wade coming to y'all with that summer league analysis. Just got done watching the Memphis Grizzlies beat the Oklahoma City Thunder, and it was a fun and exciting game. They ended up winning by 12, 92-80. That's a high scoring game for a summer league game. And it has some exciting moments, some good dunks in there, and some good hustle plays. And both teams was having their way getting to the basket, and that's a form of scoring. And the Grizzlies start off in Utah, Salt Lake City, 1-0, and they actually won the first quarter 19-18. They also won that second quarter 26-22. They finished up the third quarter with a 27-22 quarter, and they finished off the fourth quarter also 20-18. They won every single quarter against the Thunder, and that was just good to see and good to watch. Like, the Grizzlies have drafted well. They have been able to develop their players really well. And even though they lost Desmond Bain, they look like they got a good roster this year too. And they should still be one of the best teams in the Western Conference. And then it's just about seeing how far they can go and if they stars can stay healthy. But their bench, some of these guys might not make it. Some of these guys might be cut before the season start. But some of these guys are still showing you their potential. Guys like G.G. Jackson and Jalen Wells had a good game. They could have played better, but I also would say it was a tough game for them to score. It was a tough game for them to win, because that is one of the hardest things to do in the NBA, is put points on the board. And both of those players got 20 tonight and led the team. But let's talk about Armando. 16 minutes. He was 2 of 2 from the field, 5 of 6 from the free throw line. He did have 5 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal, 1 block, 1 turnover, 2 personal fouls. He was a -2 and plus minus. He had 9 points. He really didn't play that much, really didn't get that much of an opportunity to show a lot, but he only took 2 shots. Most of the stuff he did was at the free throw line, and he shot it well from there. So at least he shows you that he has two-way potential. At least he shows you that he's going to play as hard as he can. And then maybe the scoring comes from the perimeter a little longer into the season or in his career. So we don't really know how he's going to be, but we're getting a little bit of a taste of it now. Jalen Wells, you would never told or thought his hand was broken the way he was out there playing, and I think it was his wrist that was injured. He's playing like it wasn't. He was going up there to dunk it. He was going, to the rim trying to attack the basket, and he did finish 5 of 14 from the field. I'm a efficiency guy, but the man was 7 of 7 from the free throw line. That's good fearlessness, and you have to have it in this league. If you have a chance to get to that basket, if you have your person beat off the dribble, you have to score that shot or get to the free throw line. And at least Jalen Wells was showing you that he can do more than just shoot the three. But he was 3 of 8 from three. It wasn't the greatest, but it wasn't terrible. And he was letting it fly. So he wasn't afraid of that part of his game either. If anything, he was letting it go because he was confident. But he also had 4 boards. One of them was offensive with 3 assists and 2 steals. He had 1 turnover, 4 personal fouls. He was a plus 11 and plus minus, which is good to see for him. And he finished with 20 points. G.G. Jackson, he came a little late, but he was also scoring throughout the game. He knew his place. He knew his role. He knew his game, and he did not stray away from it. But he also was 3 of 8 from 3, just like Jalen Wells. And he went 8 of 15 from the field, and he finished strong in the paint when it was needed. And that's something that you have to like. Obviously, you'll probably want more rebounds since he did play 28 minutes, and he did go 1 of 1 from the free throw line, even though most of his points came in the painted area. He finished with 23 rebounds. 1 of them was offensive. He also had 2 turnovers, and he did have 4 personal fouls, and he was a plus 9 and plus minus. They was going right at him the entire game, and he didn't even get a block tonight. That's something that you have to watch. It's not going to be that important because they already have Jaren Jackson and Zach Edey for that as starters, but you would like to see what he can do when he's in those type of lineups. And he did play hard a little bit too, so it didn't really work out his way when it comes to stats, but he also was in foul trouble because he couldn't protect the paint the way he might need to be a regular rotation guy for 10 plus years in the league. We got to look at it that way because it is summer league. They got to be growing and learning something while they're getting some reps that they normally wouldn't get in the regular season unless the starters get injured, and then they got to get in that game and make a good contribution to turn around their career, extend their career, or really show what they can do. Zai, um, pulling 21 minutes, 1 of 9 from the field, 0 of 1 from three. The points that he mainly scored was that 1 2 point shot, and he did go 6 of 6 from the free throw line. He only had 8 points, couldn't get double figures in 21 minutes. I think that's okay, but just the way he went about it, he just couldn't make a shot unless he was at the free throw line. He did get you 5 assists and 3 rebounds. He also had 3 turnovers and a personal foul, +4 and plus minus. You would like to see him just figure out what he really wants to do when it's time to score. And just if that's what you can do and that's the way you're trying to put the ball in the basket, you just have to find other avenues and other ways to get it done. You can't go 1 for 9. Most people are going to look at you as you're hurting the team more than you helping the team, because he did have 5 assists, but you also got to look at it. The man had 3 turnovers when he was trying to make decisions. He either was missing shots or turning it over, or he made enough of them to where they led to shots too that was makeable. But it's only one summer league game. We can't go over dramatic over that. But we do see where he needs to grow and improve on, and it's his IQ and understanding of the space on the floor, the personnel that he's going against, and guy strengths and weaknesses that he's passing to, and just making sure his head is up and while he's trying to make plays. Cam Spencer is an NBA veteran, played like that tonight. 28 minutes for him. He was 5 of 8 from the field, 2 of 4 from three, 2 of 2 from the free throw line. He's just a sturdy, solid guy. His biggest flaw wasn't his efficiency or his ability to hit from the perimeter or his ability to get to the free throw line. It was the turnovers. 4 of them tonight, just too herky jerky or loose with the ball tonight, and that hurt it with his decision making too. But he did get those 5 assists with the 1 steal. He did go +12 and plus minus with 3 personal fouls, and he got in double figures. So he has a learning experience. He was going full speed sometimes too, and that's something that he normally doesn't do. He usually dribbles the ball and tries to survey the court and try to attack that way. But when you're playing with a new lineup and new teammates, Russ can be there too from taking some time off. But getting adjusted, getting acquainted is something that the NBA is all about, since it's a business, and we're going to see if Cam Spencer can clean things up um, for this Memphis Grizzlies summer league team. Nate, he played 12 minutes. He only had 3 points. He was 1 of 5 from the field, 1 of 3 from the 3 point line. He did get 2 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal, 1 turnover. He didn't really do enough. He didn't really have the ball in his hands enough, and when he did, he couldn't really make a shot tonight. Like I said, it was a hard-nosed game, and the defense was there, especially from the Thunder, even though they didn't really score that many points either. But Nate, he's growing, he's learning, and this is the purpose of summer league. But you got to find a way to score, and I think he took some all right shots. It didn't fall for him tonight. Lawson didn't take that many. He was a guy that played 11 minutes. He was 1 of 1 from the field. He did get 3 boards. He had 3 steals in the block. He did also have 2 turnovers and a personal foul. He finished as a +6 and plus minus with 2 points. Um, he did everything you needed him to do besides score, but it wasn't really needed because he had other teammates that can do that. And he played his role, defensively, and he put effort out there. That's something that we can say Memphis did do tonight. Everybody played like they wanted to win, and they ultimately ended up winning by 12. Flemings Jr., 15 minutes. He was 3 of 5 from the field, 1 of 1 from three. He did have 3 rebounds. 2 of them was offensive with an assist and 2 steals. 3 personal fouls. He had 7. That was the most points off the bench for the Memphis Grizzlies. And he had, a good game. The man really did nothing wrong tonight. And he looked like a guy that should have, got more time. 15 minutes is also a good amount of time off the bench. You probably want a little bit more from him if you can get these type of production numbers from him. That's what I would recommend. But we'll see how summer league continues to go for the Grizzlies. Jeremy Jones, 12 minutes. He was 0-1 from the field, 3 of 3 from the free throw line. He did have 1 assist, 1 steal, 3 personal fouls. He was a +3 and plus minus. He ended up having 3 points. All his points came from the free throw line. The one shot that he did take, he did miss it. But other than that, he still gave you effort and energy. That's quality minutes. He only played 12 of them. And you do want to see what more things he can do offensively. If I had to critique, I want to see a little bit more trying to put the ball in the basket. But other than that, in 12 minutes, he gave you good minutes. Javon Small, 19 minutes for him. He was 2 of 6 from the field and 0 of 2 from three. He wasn't shy about scoring. You got to like that. But he also knew that playing the position that he does, you know, I want to find my teammates and I want to get them involved and I want to make sure they're touching the rock, especially because we're also trying to win the game and it's not just about putting up numbers. And he did that tonight with 6 assists. He also had one steal, one turnover, two personal fouls. He's a +8 and plus minus. He ended up having 4 points. And then Elton Reed, the third, played 10 minutes. That was good to see. Everybody played double-digit minutes on the Grizzlies. He was 1 of 2 from the field. He also did go and get 4 rebounds, 2 of them being offensive, 1 a turnover, and 2 personal fouls. He was a +9 and plus minus. He only had 2 points. Didn't do much, but he also didn't hurt the team, and he did rebound good for the minutes that he had played tonight. And the shot that he did take, he made one, he missed one, and can't really argue with that. The rest of the guys did not play. Coach's decision: 29 to 68, 42% from the field, 10 to 27, 37% from three, 24 out of 25 from the free throw line. That's 96% from the free throw line. Excelente right there. You got to love it. Only missing one tonight. They did have 32 rebounds total, 23 assists, 12 steals, 2 blocks, 16 turnovers, and 25 personal fouls. And then the Oklahoma City Thunder, they ended up scoring, like I said, only 80 points. They had nothing going outside of AJ Mitchell. He was balling 27 minutes. He was 10 of 18 from the field. They kept giving him the ball, and he kept figuring out a way to put it in the basket. And he also was efficient, and he didn't do it by getting to the three-point line and chucking up threes. He only shot 3 threes total tonight and only made one of them. That's good enough, especially when you go 3 or 3 from the free throw line and still get 6 assists with only 2 turnovers. He also had a board and a steal. He had 2 personal fouls. He was a -17 and plus minus. He ended up having game high, I believe, 24 points. And that actually is true for both teams. Thing about it is he's a veteran, so we kind of expected him to be more ready. He's more developed body wise. He has a better IQ and understanding of what he's out there and what he should be doing, and he knows what the team needed him to do tonight, and he did it successfully. No complaints from me. And I'll also say that about Nikola Topic. 26 minutes, he was 6 of 11 from the field, 2 of 4 from three. He was chucking some threes, but they were dropping, and he didn't get too trigger happy because he only attempted 4 of them. He also had 1 rebound, 4 assists, 2 steals. The problem was 7 turnovers. He was sloppy and just couldn't really get the balance that he needed with his hand-eye coordination, and the Grizzlies took advantage of that. 4 personal fouls for him, -5 and plus minus. He had 14 points. The problem with him, he was just doing a little bit too much, but this team kind of needed him to do that, and turnovers and mistakes can happen when you had a ball in your hands as much as he did. Brooks, 26 minutes, 3 of 5 from the field, 1 of 2 from three, 2 of 3 from the free throw line, 9 points, 13 boards. He had the most rebounds in the game, and 3 of them was offensive. 1 steal, 1 block, 4 personal fouls, and a -13 in plus minus. A great game from him. You would like to see him get a double-double, but you also understand that he just didn't have it going and he wasn't really gunning for it. I liked his defensive effort too. Malvi, Leon's number 17, 21 minutes, 3 of 6 from the field, 0 of 1 from three, 2 of 3 from the free throw line, 3 boards, 2 of them was offensive, 1 block, 3 turnovers, 2 personal fouls, a -6 and plus minus. He ended up having 8 points. Good game in 21 minutes. A good solid game from him. You couldn't really ask for him to do too much because AJ Mitchell and Topic was basically unguardable. And if Topic wasn't turning over the ball, he really did just as much as AJ Mitchell in this game when it comes to trying to put the ball in the basket. And Maddie, 201 from the 21 minutes for him, 1 and 2 from the field. He had 2 of 4 shooting from the free throw line. 7 of them of his rebounds was what he had tonight. 2 of them was offensive, 1 steal, 2 blocks, 3 turnovers, 6 personal fouls. He was a -5 and plus minus. He finished with 4 points. Alex Dukas, 19 minutes. He was 2 of 5 from the field, 2 of 4 from three, one rebound, a -4 and plus minus. He ended up having 6 points. That's really good production from him off the bench. No turnovers and no crazy stats, but he really did go out there and do what they needed him to do and what they asked from him. And that's all you can really do sometimes in summer league. Edwards, number 45, he didn't do anything much. He only got on the court and played 2 minutes. And after that, he only had 2 boards and a turnover. He was a -1 and plus minus. 2 rebounds is good in 2 minutes. The problem is he still was able to turn over the basketball. Chris Youngblood, 21 minutes. He was 2 of 8 from the field, 1 of 4 from three, 0 of 1 from the free throw line, 3 rebounds, 2 of them was offensive, 1 assist, 3 steals, 2 turnovers, 3 personal fouls, a -5 and plus minus, and he did finish with 5 points. He got a lot of shots up. Majority of them was also from three, just didn't make enough of them, even though he only had to make one more to shoot 50%. Just didn't happen tonight. He took some questionable shots, but other than that, somebody had to let him go off that bench. He just didn't make enough of them to justify it. But he did get some good amount of steals tonight, racked them up real clean, and he did get called for 3 personal fouls. Got to add that in there. But I liked his rebounding too. Eric, 2 minutes. He was 0-1 from the field. It was a three. He finished as a -1 and plus minus. Didn't play enough to give him a good score. Neither did Ty Brewer. He played 3 minutes. He had 1 block, 1 personal foul. He was a +1 and plus minus. Gortman, 16 minutes, 4 or 5 from the field, 2 or 3 from the free throw line, 2 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 turnovers, 1 personal foul, -3 and plus minus. He came off the bench and gave you double figures with 10 points. You can't ask for nothing more than that, especially when you look at the assists and the rebounds. It was just a really great night for him and did a good job of establishing himself in this summer league event so far. I like what he did, and he probably was one of the best players on both ends of the court tonight, whether he was a Grizzly or a Thunder. That's just as how good he played. Zach Austin, 14 minutes, 0 4 from the field. It was all threes. He was letting it rain, but it really did come down hard because he couldn't really get any shots to go for himself tonight. He finished with 0, but he did get 2 rebounds. He also did have 2 turnovers and 1 personal foul in those 14 minutes, and he finished as a -2 in plus minus. Cameron Brown played 3 minutes. He had 1 personal foul. He was a +1 and plus minus also, but he finished with 0 points. Couldn't really get anything to go because he didn't take any shots, even from the free throw line. They did shoot better from the field, 31 of 65, 47% from the field. They also were 7 of 23, 30% from three, 11 of 17 from the free throw line, 64%. If they shot the three ball better and shot better from the free throw line, the game would have been a little bit closer, but it didn't go in their favor tonight. They did also have 35 rebounds, which was more than the Grizzlies. They also did have 14 assists. They lost that battle. They had 8 steals. They also lost that battle, and they had 5 blocks. They won that battle by 3 against the Grizzlies, and 23 turnovers. They had way more than the Grizzlies, and then 25 personal fouls. They was tied in that category. A good fun game to watch, and I am very pleased by giving my time to be able to see what these two young teams was able to do against each other tonight. Just want to see the young talent that's getting brought into this league grow and get better and show more, do more, and accept their role as accept what they're going to be in the NBA, and just try to be the best player they can be so they can be the best teammate that can be and the best player that coach can have for the team to win looking forward. And a team like Memphis need as much reps and as much practice because they're still trying to win that elusive NBA title in the NBA, and they got to go through the tough West Coast to be able to do that. And OKC is the champions, and they're only getting deeper. So they're not really complaining, even though they did lose this game. They're showing you that they've had hit on some of their players, and they brought in some good players too. It ain't going to be enough time for all of them, but at least you know that you like what you have coming off that bench. If somebody gets injured, somebody gets traded, some of these guys can step in, and you won't be missing them that much. And that's the purpose of a bench. Come in, be ready, perform, do what you can do to help the team win, no matter what your role is. And as long as you're cool with that, you're going to have a place in this league. And that's why I enjoy and love watching Summer League for that reason. So I can really see what they bring to the table, just like the coaching staff is looking at that. And so is people around the league, like scouts and other teams, looking at like, I like that guy. I want this guy on my team in the future. I like how he plays. I like his work ethic. I like how he understands the game and understands how to play the game, even as a teammate. Those are things that can extend your time in the league. And that's why Summer League just as important as the regular season for guys like AJ Mitchell, who may never be a starter, but at least he can be that 8th, 9th, 10th guy that gets paid millions to play basketball. And that's still one of the American dreams that so many people would love to have, but he still has it. And, at the end of the day, he ain't going to regret playing his best basketball and having a role in this league and getting paid millions of dollars to play basketball at the end of the day. That's something that most people can't do, and he still has that opportunity. And this is a good way to do it. So shout out to him and shout out to the Grizzlies, man. Y'all continue to find good pieces to add to that roster. Now y'all got to go all in on winning the championship before it's just another blow up fest like y'all have been having for so many years and so many decades. OKC was able to figure it out after blowing it up with the Kevin Durant team, and they was able to find a way to build a team to be able to win the championship. Now they're trying to build a dynasty. And that depth and that roster looking really, really good already. So I'm impressed by both teams right now and their ability to find talent. And they both been showing that for over a decade now. Now it's time to cash in with that talent before it gets out of hand and everybody want to go their separate ways again. And even though we know it's going to happen, you still got to do what's best for them cheap contracts and them players that still admire being an NBA player because that's their goal and that's their dream to be able to be that as long as they can. And now they're making it happen in summertime. Other than that, comment, like, subscribe, share, hit the notification bell for more analysis. And if you're new to the channel, I do conversation videos just like this and various NBA only topics. I always do breakdowns with real footage of legends, current legends, rookies, future stars, even mock draft and draft coverage. So if you love that type of content, this is the channel for you. Plus, I got over 3,000 plus videos on my channel that you can watch and you can enjoy if you choose to. But other than that, I also upload videos each and every day that I'm living. Always give you something to watch. Always give you something